you walk into a kitchen and, you see some marinara sauce on the table, some sliced up pepperoni, you see some mozzarella cheese, and then, they open up the oven and it's like shepherd's pie. And you're just like, oh, was I wrong for assuming pizza? Like that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like that's how it felt. It was like your kitchen, your house, your rules, you do whatever you want. I'm not mad. I'm excited about it. It was just like, oh, what was all this for if not for pizza? I guess it's just like, what was it for? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, the show dedicated to talking about all the poggers things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I'm one of your co-hosts, JesseKazam.
And are you familiar at all with, the heavy bags when you go boxing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I saw this like years ago in a documentary or something where someone opened up a heavy bag and it was full of like t-shirts and like sweatpants. And did they come like that, or I just figured they were filled with stuffing or whatever? But whatever that is, imagine you have a heavy bag full of old sweatpants, and just picture this. Imagine you threw it down a spiral staircase that was like, I don't know, maybe 100 stories.
Okay. That's
what my body feels like right now, because I decided to go cycling for the first time in 2 years.
Nice.
I vomited. I had to pull over and vomit.
For sure.
In some dude's lawn, who I found out after was mowing his own lawn. So he definitely saw me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm dying.
Nice.
So that's me. I'm a dying boy.
That's definitely something. I feel ya. I am exhausted. We took our 1-year-old and our 4-year-old to the beach today, which is basically like wrestling two wild bobcats, but in 104-degree weather in the sand. Basically, that's a 1-to-1.
So you got Sandy Crack?
Yeah, Sandy Crack. I mean, it was fun, but it's just like it's not like going to the beach with kids is a different going to the beach. You know what I mean? There was no sitting. We never sat. We didn't. There's not 1 second of relaxation.
Doing everything. Insert with kids afterwards, and I can't think of anything that is made better by that. Other than like reminiscing about Christmas.
Yeah.
I was going to say Christmas morning with kids, but I would imagine that's probably 10 times fucking worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different, It's just different.
You get to see their eyes light up when you give 100%. Them like a Nintendo Switch Ultra Virtual Boy. Oh my God, did you have a Virtual Boy?
No.
Did you ever see one?
Yeah.
My friend had one.
Oh,
it was the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Imagine, like, you remember those old tiny little games with like 2 buttons? They were like one-off games. A lot of times it was like the little motorcycle going up the little the road, and you just had to like go left, go right.
Yeah, yep.
Really, it looked like TI-83 level graphics. Imagine that, but fully tinted, like as red as your phone there, and bolted to your retinas. That's what fucking Virtual Boy was like.
Yeah. It's crazy how like long ago that came out, like some sort of virtual. I remember seeing those. They look like NASA science experiments.
1995.
Crazy.
Fuck me.
Crazy.
Yeah. So speaking of Virtual Boy, how's we heard some news about Tarkov? Have you been playing? Have you been playing Star Citizen? Oh God, I just came up with that.
Why would you do that? What?
That's mean. I don't even mean it.
It's so
I didn't mean it, but
I have been. I actually played quite a bit of Star Citizen this week, and it was so fun. We got to get you back. We got to get you back on it. It was really fun.
Dude, yeah, one of these days, I'm sure I'll need a little bit of a break from Trackmania, considering I've been IV fed the game for 80 hours a week.
And 100%, when that's when you need it exactly. If there's nothing else that you want to play, we'll get together and we'll do some stuff. It was fun. We were doing like PvP, like chasing down PvP. I linked up with another streamer, Captain Burks, who's like one of the bigger content creators in Star Citizen, and it was super fun. It was good times. But yeah, I mean, been playing a ton of Tarkov. Lots of stuff happened this week in the Tarkov space. I'm sure you've seen like the arena teas and stuff like that, which we'll get there. But so did you see any of the patch they did to smooth out like the movement?
So all I've seen was the clip you posted, I believe, on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then about 2 hours ago, I'm like, I should probably watch the trailer. And I watched the trailer. But yeah, everybody, when I was playing fucking Trackmania yesterday, having a grand old time.
Of course.
And every 14 seconds, someone was like, yo, you gonna watch the fucking teaser? You're gonna watch? I'm like, no.
No.
I don't. I'm sure I'll hear about it. Like, I'm not gonna watch it. And then, yo, what are your thoughts on the trailer? I'm like, I haven't seen it. I don't.
It was only like a minute and a half, so.
Yeah, I mean, half the people were like super hyped, and the other half the people were like, honestly, it's like really fucking short. And then all I saw leading up to that was all of the video. I didn't watch any of them.
Yeah.
But all of the videos from
Nice Guy,
Tweak, Nice Guy, One Peg, just all of the news in my subscription feed, all about like, they're gonna nuke Tarkov, like all that. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I didn't even click any of them. I'm like, well, let's just see. And then yesterday and today, all the videos were, we were wrong. What, totally.
Yep. Yeah. Well, so there's a lot to unpack there with the arena teas and what led up to the arena teas. But so you saw my tweet, like with the movement, which is stuff that like you and me. Okay. So like you're the first one to ever be like, Jesse, just like look at your teammate running. And I remember being like, Veritas, I only play this game duo. How did I never notice this? And I remember, and that was actually a really critical piece of information, that I play this game all the time. I play it with friends, and I never noticed how bad it was. So when the patch came, I immediately was like, this is better. This feels much better. And I hopped on to Tarkov that morning a few hours after the patch had been live. I linked up with Velian and I think some other people, and everybody I was asking chat, and everybody was like, I don't know what this patch was for. I don't really see a difference. And some of the other streamers were like, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, I feel like it's a little bit smoother. And so I was like freaking out. I was like, this looks so good. I was like, this is, and then you start, I felt the tide turning, Veritas, where I felt a few people came into chat and was like, you're exaggerating it just to make it sound, cool for a video or something. Like, it's not that much better.
You're such a shill for BSG.
And I felt it, but it wasn't a lot of that, but I felt it, dude. And I was like, this is going to turn bad. Like, Twitter was the same thing. People were like, posting clips of like dying to desync, same old Tarkov. And I felt it. And I was like, I remember, I didn't know this patch was coming out. But like 2 weeks ago, I was playing with Sealable and Desmond, and we were on Shoreline, and like we had killed a few people. Everybody else had extracted. I mean, we were just like running around. We were like trying to jump up on top of the gas station with the fire in it. Like, we were just moving around. And I noticed it was bad. And so we went out to the road, and I like looked down and then free looked up so you wouldn't see my gun. And I was like, Sealable, just pull your walk speed down to half and just walk for me. And then that was the old clip. And then I had him run, and I had him do a bunch of stuff. And it was
I'm so glad that you found the same area. It's always so much more compelling when it's like the same clip.
It was so bad. And I was like, and I clipped that. And I remembered on Wednesday, whenever they uploaded the patch, I was like, I have this clip somewhere. So me and Velian were on customs, and I was like, Velian, walk for me, run for me. I had him do all the things, and I was like, it's so much better. And so like while I was live, loading into a raid, I opened up Premiere, and I showed the new, I showed the old, and then I showed it side by side, and I posted that. And that tweet took off. And then the tide switched back, and everybody was like, oh my God, it looks so much better. And I was like, it's just, and I would have been like freaking out on the people that didn't notice it if I hadn't had been one. You know what I mean? Like, you just convinced me of it so much earlier. And it was like the wool was pulling off my eyes. I was like, once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it, but I couldn't believe that I never saw it. I couldn't believe that after like 3 years of playing this game, I'd never seen how bad it was. And of course it depends. Like a lot of people were like, it's never been that bad for me. And I'm like, well, one, do you ever pay attention? But two, sometimes it's not that bad, but it's this bad way more often than you think it is. And
100% of the time.
Yeah. And I was
I had never seen anybody ever, a teammate or another player or another scav, never once seen anybody move 10 feet.
Yeah. Especially as smooth as it is now. So I was like, it looks way better and it feels better. And so that kind of helped. And then like Nikita retweeted it because I was like, hey, BSG is like, great job. And then he was like, just wait until the new animations come, like new animations along with the smoothment. And like the way it was positioned in that tweet when they said like, hey, it's live. This is what we did.
Did you say smoothment?
The clip is called smoothment. Yeah.
Nice. Holy shit. I thought that was like was that an accidental, amazing TM?
Some smoothment. The official tweet from Battlestate Games, like, on what it was like, it was something, the main goal of these changes is to increase the visualization accuracy of the position of other players in the raid as much as possible. So it's like, I have no idea on the technical side, but like the point of the patch was to, I guess, have the server have a better understanding at any moment of the exact position of the player, and how that's shown. I don't know what they did on the back end. I have zero clue. But
yeah, I mean,
my way better.
There's a number of different things that could have affected that. Imagine if, the tick rate of the server was 7, so that means it has your position, you walk 10 steps, it has your position, so that's why you go walk, stutter, walk. Now, I don't think that was necessarily the case, but that's just one conceivable way.
For sure.
Yeah, it's fuck. I mean, it's hard to say
because
there's there's the server update rate, then there's the update rate of the clients.
Yep.
Again, I can't really know, but my guess is they either implemented some sort of smoothing, interpolation, something to basically say your position A, your position B, basically fill in the blank, almost like
intelligently.
What's it called? Almost like a keyframe, when you do like an animation.
I want point A is here, point B is here, smooth everything in between. Make it
But yes and no, actually, and I'd be curious to know if there's anything, if this would exist, but part of it is prediction.
Yeah.
Because if you're at point A and then point B and then they do an 8.5, then that means it's almost like they're kind of like rewinding you, right?
Yep.
Like, so chances are if you're like walking, they're probably going to assume he's going to continue walking. So I wonder if like jiggle peeking or whatever, if anything like that.
I don't know. It's funny because Star Citizen literally just did this in reverse. A while ago, like a year or two ago, they implemented like really hardcore smoothing.
Mm-hmm.
And in space, it's even crazier because there's complete degrees of freedom. Like an AI or a person could change their momentum and go in any direction. And ship combat was basically impossible because you'd see a ship and they were trying to make it smooth, and then it would just completely, in the blink of an eye, go to it because it was predicting it was going to go this way, and then bloop, and it was like impossible to fight. So they literally reverted that patch, and the community rejoiced. The movement is now jittery, but it's more accurate because it's like, I don't know what their server tick rate was, but it was like bad. But basically Tarkov was doing the opposite, where like it was nice and jittery, and now they're trying to like smooth that out. Anyways, the more we worked, and it's been much, much better.
Yeah, the more we talk about it, and the more I look at this clip, the more I think that it had to do with the update rate between,
Maybe.
somewhere but starting at the server and or the update rate of the client, some combination of the two, maybe both, maybe one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I recall having this conversation with Nikita and him basically saying that they haven't really done much interpolation, and that was like the issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess
So-
we'll have
so
to see.
it's
Have
better.
you seen any of the, like, when you first spawn, they walk and then they walk in place
Yes.
and they teleport forward?
That's still happening. And I don't know what that is, because that's only ever within the first 60 seconds of a raid that happens. Like, I've never been in a fight with somebody in dorms and then just have them and then zip. It's always, there's something happening where it's spooling up the server or something, but that's only happening at the beginning of the raid. I'm noticing that, but it is still happening.
It's like when Windows, when you boot up Windows for the first time and you're like clicking, shit's kind of like, I'm doing a lot of work.
100%. Yeah.
So, which is exactly what I talk about in the netcode video, from back in the day, where I talked about it. I showed the examples, and it was like at the beginning of raid, but also throughout the raid. When scavs would spawn, you would see like a kind of a big stutter. I pay attention to when you're playing with like geeks or Valiant or whoever.
For sure.
Throughout the middle of the raid, if you get any of those walking in place, teleport forward, because that's different than just normal walking in place.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any in the middle of the raid, and I have been playing with people. Like, I played with Desmond last night, and he's West Coast, and like Sealable's more central, I think, of in Canada, and then I play with like Velian, who's East Coast. And everybody, as far as the movement, the just normal walking around, it's been super smooth for everybody. Like, it's been super, no matter whose servers I'm on, if Desmond invites them or West Coast, if I invite, it's seemed very consistently better.
And it was consistently bad, as we said before. And it was
consistently bad, and it's consistently better. Yeah, for sure. So the problem is explaining that, because like that's a pretty technical thing. I have a very basic and barely grasp what that is. And so like people kept coming in and they were like, is this a desync patch? Is this going to fix desync? Like, how's the desync? And it's like, as I understand it, there's not one thing that causes desync. There's like a bunch of things. And this could help with desync because the movement is a little bit smoother, but I don't think it's going to eliminate desync from the game. Like, I don't think you're never going to die behind a wall ever again because of this change, but I think it could help a little bit. You know what I mean? And it's like hard to, because most people that don't, like, they just want to know, like, is this going to help the desync? You know what I mean? It's like the movement looks better, but so I don't know.
See, I don't think that, I think it's completely separate, right? Because like the reason why when someone would jiggle peek you, one tap you or whatever, it wasn't because they were doing a little bit of a movement stutter.
Yeah.
It was because of the quote unquote netcode, how they peeked, they shot you, and they weren't even on your screen.
Yeah.
It was such a delay, and so that's different. Like theoretically, this may or may not be the case. I'm literally basing this off of nothing, but theoretically, the smoothing and interpolation or whatever they've done, it could add more load on the servers, which could mean more desync.
Yeah.
Technically, who knows?
Yeah, but it was nice to see a W and something that we had been specifically talking about a ton. And yeah, it's not like completely game changing. It's not eliminating desync, but it looks good. It was executed well. It was sick.
Man, like Shooter Born in Heaven is going to be like 27 times easier, right?
Yes.
Like it was always the reason why one of the huge changes for me over time that I've really like made the game experience terrible was I would grab semi-auto guns, and I had multiple videos where it was like lining up with the head, they come walking up and it's like perfectly line up, click, and it's impossible to do when they're moving like this the whole time, right? You can't just one tap someone in the head. I mean, all the new youngsters that are all cracked, they're fucking used to people jittering back and forth. I trained on smoothment. On the smoothment. No, for sure. I mean, I think that's something that everybody
I think that's something that everybody has experienced, whether they understood they were experiencing it or not. You know what I mean? Trying to line up a shot, being like, holy cow, that felt good. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Why didn't I hit that guy? And it's like, well, yeah, exactly. Why? So that was really good. That's been a good thing. So, and then we got a few days ago, we got they just posted the link to a YouTube video, and it was like premieres in 48 hours. And it was dude, so like there was so much to it, and we'll walk through it a little bit. And I only know a little bit of how we got to, like, you know, the nuke and everything, but I genuinely think that like Nikita and the dudes were like messing with Nice Guy, and the like I do, because like the original thumbnail for the video, like when they tweeted the video, when you click on the link, you were brought to the video. It says premieres in 47 hours, and there was a thumbnail. That thumbnail, if you take the map of Tarkov,
that was the one thing I saw.
You zoom in on terminal, and you just made it 17 pixels. That was the thumbnail.
It was 100%. One of the videos I was, and maybe it was Nice Guys.
100%.
He was like, this is a stretch, you know. I'm like, no, it's clearly like,
no,
but you can follow the border.
Yeah, Nice Guy was Nice Guy was like, I don't know who said that, but yeah, it was like
maybe just one peg.
And it was like on Nice Guy's video, he literally overlaid the map and then would like drop the opacity of the clear map and then bring it back up. And it was like, look, this is identical. Like this is zoomed in on terminal. So everyone was like, terminal. Like this isn't even one of those like it was a stretch. Like the thumbnail for the video was terminal. So everybody was like, this might be a terminal tease. You know what I mean?
It was like those two oh god, did you I'm not fuck. I was gonna say the two photos of Amber Heard. I don't know if you have any idea how they're identical. Oh, okay. There's literally two photos that the saturation is increased by 22% or whatever, and she claimed that it was taken on a different day and different lighting. And I literally took the pictures, overlaid them. You ever done the different opacity things? You can do like difference,
dissolve. Yeah.
I did difference, put them over, and it was completely black. And all I did was take one of the pictures, turned up the saturation. It was identical. Put them over, and the different. Yeah, sorry, that was complete
incredible. Anyway, so it was like terminal, like. We didn't know. We were I don't know if it's going to be a terminal tease. I don't know, like, if it's going to be a surprise. We get terminal. It was like, nobody knows, but this is terminal. Like, that's all we know. And then they changed the thumbnail to like this really zoomed in, you know, it looked like a thermal image, like a thermal image from a drone taken, and then it was zoomed in super far. It was black and white, and it looked like, you know, black hot. And it was like, and then like in the code, in the picture was like a message, and it was like death from the air, life is unfair, to live unaware. It was like this poem. And then in the bottom of the image was this like alphanumeric string of characters. And somebody figured out that if you typed out that alphanumeric string of characters and you went to escapefromtarkov.com, logged in, clicked activate a promo code, pasted that string of characters, it would say promo code activated, and you'd get a message in game with gear. And it was like an MP5 and a gas mask and some ammo. It was nothing crazy, but it was a little bit of free stuff. So then everybody was doing that. And then 8 hours later, they changed it again. A different like thermal image looking thing, a different poem, and another string of alphanumeric things. And so that was another thing. Now you got an AK and a PPSH helmet and some other stuff. And then they did that again. And then they did that again. It was 4 different images, 4 different like poem things, 4 different promo codes where you could get free gear. The last one was a pro kill. One of the things had this extra long string of characters that people figured out was base 64. And when you translated it from base 64, it was long live the hood. And then that's where it got crazy, where like, so like the cultists in Tarkov worship the blue flame, which is what they called the EMP that happened. Like in the lore, there was like a big event where an EMP was set off by the cultists, and it like, you know, set in motion a whole lot of shenanigans. And they worship.
It was set off by the cultists?
Yeah. And they worship the blue flame.
Is that what made the whole like Tarkov event happen? Was the fucking
part of it? Like there's actually EUL Gaming. If you haven't heard of him, if you're listening to this, He has all the books and he's done a ton of lore digging, and he has several videos out with some of the most comprehensive, like, this is the lore of what happened in Tarkov. And I've watched all his videos and they're really good. And so there was a lot of like geopolitical stuff happening that kind of brought this forth. And then the cultists like set off this EMP, and that really was like the nail in the coffin to like do this. Anyways, they want to bring back, they want another EMP. They want to set off another one. And so like, Nice Guy and his like goons, the Sons of Soon, like found like there's like a Wikipedia page for a nuclear bomb that was created called the Hood, and the Hood was a nuke that was meant to be detonated in the atmosphere above
air detonated.
Yes, yeah. Above, and it was made with like beryllium, which is a chemical that burns blue, and it was called the Hood. So it was like, long live the Hood is like in this freaking thumbnail for the video. And there was all these events with the cult. And so like, they were like, we figured it out, fam. They were like, we figured it out. They're going to nuke it. And I was talking with Nice Guy a bit, and he didn't think that basically that was just going to be like the in-lore event for why we wipe. He was like, maybe we'll finally get like radiation. Like we've known for a long time, the radiation symbol's been in the bottom of your character for forever. He's like, maybe we get some radiated areas, maybe we get some gas masks. But he was like, largely it's just going to be like the in-raid or the lore of why we're going to wipe. And we were like, we figured it out. They're going to nuke, the cult's going to set off a nuke, and it's going to wipe the game. And even though that was kind of tinfoil hatty, what really happened is there were 5 different thumbnails for this video. One of them was a blurred out picture of Terminal. 4 of them were these weird pictures that all had these weird codes that gave you free gear, and they all had this weird cultish language on them. One of them had this base 64 text that said "Long live the Hood," and then the video premiered, and it was a 1 minute and 39 second tease for the arena, and then that was it. It was like, what the hell? It was the craziest buildup. Like, weirdly enough, there wasn't that much like reach. Like, all of that stuff happened, and it was weird, and it meant nothing. As we understand it now, maybe they do another event next week that ties it all back. But it was just so weird because it felt like it had nothing to do with the arena.
Okay, so maybe I'm seeing this differently on the outside, but why did it have to mean anything other than just they're sprinkling lore? Like, why did it have to be? But like, I maybe they're just adding lore with "Long live the Hood." To me, it seems like a stretch to say they're gonna nuke.
Well, no, yeah, but I'm saying like what I'm saying, yeah, scrap that. Scrap all that. Like, yeah, everyone's like, oh, we were wrong.
You're saying, what does that have to do with Arena?
Yeah, what does it have to do with Arena? Like, now that we know, like, we were theorizing, because it was all theorized, it was like, this could mean this. And then we got the answer, and it was like, oh, no, it didn't mean that. It meant this. But that's just weird. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you walk into a kitchen, and, you know, you see some marinara sauce on the table, some sliced up pepperoni, you see some mozzarella cheese, and then, you know, they open up the oven, and it's like shepherd's pie. And you're just like, oh, was I wrong for assuming pizza? Like, that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it felt. It was like, your kitchen, your house, your rules. You do whatever you want. I'm not mad. I'm excited about it. It was just like, oh, what was all this for if not for pizza? I guess it's just like, what was it for? I'm excited for shepherd's pie, but what was the pepperoni for? I think that was the question. Everybody was just like, interesting.
Well, let's extend the metaphor a little bit. Maybe you really enjoy looking at pepperoni.
What?
The metaphor doesn't work. I'm just saying, people like lore.
Yeah.
They drop the lore. Is it coincidental that it happened around the same time as the teaser? Or did they explicitly say all of these things are connected with the release of the video that we're teasing?
Yeah, but you would expect anybody to do that to you. Once again,
they've been doing shit every day for weeks and weeks. All I ever hear about is, did you see the new thing? Did you see the new Instagram post? Did you see the new whatever?
Exactly. And all of those things have you're exactly right, Bears. Every single one of those things has a very direct meaning and correlation to Escape from Tarkov. They all lead into events they all lead into actual things. We know about the Lightkeeper. Like every single one of these things that they put out and tease to us has a direct correlation and has a direct result in the game Escape from Tarkov. Once again,
what part didn't of what you just told me?
Just like what any of it has to do with the arena. Once again, it's like if you put out a Trackmania video.
Why did it have to do with arena? That's
because it was the thumbnail for an arena video. If you had Nikita Buyanov and an Escape from Tarkov thing in your thumbnail for your Trackmania full speed video, you would expect people to think that's weird. You wouldn't be like
unless they were just trying to fucking confuse you.
You would no, dude. No, I feel like
how many times have you said Nikita's a troll?
I feel like you're reaching. Well, exactly. I think that's what I'm saying is that I think he did. I think they were trolling, but like I don't understand what you're saying. Like he trolled us, but it's not weird that we thought things meant things. That's not the weird thing. The weird thing is that they trolled us.
No,
it's not weird that when you put a thumbnail that said Escape from Tarkov and I clicked on the video and it said Trackmania, I'm the one that goes, you made the weird decision, not the other way around. You don't go like, well, you just really wanted a Tarkov video.
That's not what I'm saying.
It sounds like it's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that you guys jumped to conclusions. You saw a thing about cultists, and maybe not you, but whoever, and they basically said, we're going to get nuked, and that's the wipe. That is the stretch. If you guys were like, oh, maybe there's something about, cultists or whatever, maybe there's a connection, but the stretch is that you assumed all these things that weren't.
No, I know. Yeah. No, I know that. I'm not even talking about that anymore. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Like that was the stretch. And that, yeah, I don't know. That
I don't know. Maybe
that was a stretch, but that's the thing. Everybody was willing to drop that. Everyone was like, oh yeah, it didn't mean a nuke, but it was still weird. It was like, once again, we go back to the analogy. It was like, if all of these things made me assume we were having pizza for dinner, but we weren't having pizza, we were having like spaghetti or some other Italian dish. It was like, oh, I was way off, but this is it. But this was a completely different thing. Like, yes, it's
maybe
both,
it was appetizers.
It's both and. It's no.
Dude, you saw the marinara sauce and the pepperoni and before the fucking,
I don't even know
whatever it was, shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe I just don't understand because I didn't look at fucking anything.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe I'm just missing.
For sure.
But
and like, they could still be connected. That's the thing, is that like they've been dragging out a lot of this stuff. So maybe some of these things that we saw do get connected later. All I'm saying was that if you completely delete any talk of wipe, any talk of nuke, any talk of anything, if Nice Guy never made those videos, if One Peg never made those videos, if that connection was never made, everyone in the community but you would have thought it was weird that they did all this leading up to an arena video. It's not like we're mad. It was just weird because you changed your thumbnail 5 times. Like how do you tell me that the terminal thing, it was literally terminal and then it had nothing to do with terminal? Are you telling me that that's a stretch because I made an assumption? The thumbnail was terminal. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, is that anecdotally, it was weird.
How do you know that the arena doesn't take place in a building in terminal and that it's not run by cultists? I don't know, dude. I'm not assuming that there's no connection. I'm also not assuming that there is a connection. That's why I basically say I don't fucking care about any of this tinfoil hat shit. Just tell me when something happens.
Yeah. You know, but that's the thing, though, is that like I feel like you're saying you don't care, and all we're saying is like that was weird.
No, and what I'm saying is, for the last year, everybody's been saying nothing makes sense about what they do. We make all these assumptions and nothing ever makes sense. The numbers on the door, do they mean anything? I don't know. Nothing makes sense, so it doesn't surprise me that nothing makes sense. That they made the thumbnail fucking Bart Simpson. And
yeah, I see what you're saying.
It doesn't surprise me that they would do a bunch of shit, think it was clever, like we're going to throw in a bunch of lore and all these Easter eggs, and we're going to put it in the thumbnail for people paying attention because it was premiered. So maybe they wanted people to hang around the premiere,
for sure,
talking about it in chat. So maybe that was it.
For sure.
Maybe they're just like, let's sprinkle in a bunch of lore that we've had sitting on the back table collecting dust.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Doesn't make it not weird. And all I'm saying it was weird is that it was weird.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree with you. It's weird, and it's always been weird.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, but anyways, so what we got was 90-second, 99-second arena tease. So you said you did watch it, right?
Yep.
Okay. What did you think? I mean, I don't know how much you know about the arena. I once again, I didn't know this was coming. That the last thing any of us thought 48 hours ago was that the arena was going to get teased. But like 2 weeks ago, I made a video titled "Why I Think the Arena is going to be the best thing to ever happen to Tarkov." So I had just recently come off of like a ton of research where I was combing through old forum posts. It was that
video. Nikita was like, all right, maybe we'll do it.
Yeah, I was combing through old tweets, old wiki pages. I watched all the old videos from Nice Guy and One Peg, and I aggregated all this information together. So like, it's super top of mind for me. But like, what did you think about the trailer?
I mean, the first thing is all of the trailers, like the last Streets one we saw, like the big one that was like longer. It all looks like a different game because I don't know if it's on the other engine or it's got new animations, but it always looks a little foreign. That was just the first thing I noticed.
They definitely had the new animations that they teased, yeah. Yeah,
the second thing I noticed is, as usual, all the PMCs in their trailers are terrible stormtroopers that never hit anything.
Yep. Yep.
They all just are like, up, you know.
100%.
But it looks like cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have missed parts of it. I kind of like, I don't know if I had it muted while I was like on the phone or something. But I'm pretty sure I watched all of it. I don't know. Do we know anything other than there's this environment and it looks like there, might be 5v5. That's all. There was that one period where they were all standing there. There was a little countdown and like the metal detector or whatever is like turned to like a green check mark.
Yeah. So we have a lot of information that was said over the course of the last 4 years, and every shred of that information I would put in a bucket of like very subject to change. So like I can rattle off.
It wasn't base 64 encoded?
No, this wasn't in a thumbnail. This was so like I can rattle off a ton of like fun facts, quote unquote, about the arena, but like none of them might be true anymore. And then we got the trailer, and really the only questions that the trailer answered, it answered very few of them. The only questions that the trailer answered were, there's going to be a 5v5, you know what I mean? Because we saw that. And there's going to be maps made specifically for Arena. Because like in the past, they had talked about like, maybe taking a part of Shoreline and making an arena map out of that, or part of this. In the trailer, it actually took me a really long time to notice this, but they teased 2 maps. There's 2 maps in the trailer.
Oh, it looked like the same.
It did. If you watch it back, there's one that's like an airport. Obviously, there's a giant plane in the middle, and there's all sorts of like baggage claim signs, and then one is a shopping mall. And we went through
Now, do we know for a fact that they're not the same? Did they say like in the description? Or?
No, I'm about 99%. Like I'm very willing to be proven wrong, but I went through the trailer multiple times with chat. There's times where like there's one sweeping shot where you see both ends of the map. You see like the PMC spawning and like running in. So like this is the edge of the map. And then you see all the way to the end. And there's like giant landmarks missing. And then in other ones, you see like pools, fountains, like a mall, elevators, and all of that is completely gone. So unless the map is like humongous, which I don't think it's going to be big, I think that's the point. If it's 5v5, they need to be kind of small. Yeah. There's a mall and...
Well, I wonder if it's like 5v5v5 or if it's
dude, who knows? Once again, so it looks like 2 maps. And so the question that it's answered is that they're making maps, at least some, specifically for Arena, which I think is cool. And then the description of the video answered a few questions as well. Oh, wait, hold on. That's my video. it's going to be... So this is interesting. In the description of the video, it says that there's going to be PvE modes, which is cool. The game will feature various PvP and PvE game modes, ratings, weapons, and gear unlocks, and unique features for the owners of the main Escape from Tarkov game, like the ability to play as your main profile character. So we can break down, there's a lot of stuff there. The game will feature various PvE and PvP game modes. That leads me to believe that there's multiple different things, like maybe TDM, maybe search and destroy. They've talked very specifically in the past, like in the information while I was doing digging for this video, Nikita in the past has made it very clear that death will still matter in every game mode. So like TDM will be like, if you die, you die. And maybe then it becomes round based instead of
like hardcore. Yeah. God.
So like in the past, like in normal TDM, it's just like first to 75 kills. Maybe this is round based, you know what I mean? But it's like when you die, you are dead in all of the game modes. However, the description says will feature various PvP and PvE game modes. Ratings, what I really, really hope that means is a ranked system. Like I think this needs ranked in order to like work and be popular. Mm-hmm. Weapons and gear unlocks. Unique features for owners of the main Escape from Tarkov game, like the ability to play as your main character. Of course, that brings up more questions than it answers, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so like I said, in the stuff that I've done, in the research that I did for the arena, they've said in the past that you are going, like, the games will be linked if you have them both. There's going to potentially be arena-specific currencies. There's potential for you to be able to use some of the gear that you have on your main character in the arena, but we have zero idea how any of that works, right? Like, how am I just going to be able to bring in my Slick and my Alton and my Meta Mutant when somebody who has the arena but not Escape from Tarkov isn't going to be able to do that? I don't know. I feel like that would obviously be a glaring oversight. Who knows? That might cost. In the past, they've also said that looting, you will be able to loot people in the arena, but that will not be your main focus. I think looting will be I think looting, the really cool and refined looting that we have in Tarkov will just be ported to the arena as a utility. If you run out of ammo, maybe you only start with like, maybe you only have 3 mags. And like, that's part of the metagame is like ammo management. And if you're down to the wire and you have no ammo, you have to loot somebody. And by looting, you're being very vulnerable. You know what I mean? So like, I think the looting will be in the game, but I don't think it will be in there to get gear and sell.
Yeah.
Tower brought this up. A bunch of people was saying this, that potentially those kits that we were getting from those codes are like examples of like the free kits you can get in the arena. It's like an MP5 and some Augmentin and some M32s or an AK and a helmet and some other meds. Because that's the thing, right? Like, this is a standalone game that will cost money, that you will not need to have Escape from Tarkov to play. So there will have to be a way to always have gear, to always play, right? Like,
yeah,
you have to always be able to do that. So there
were 2 guys with hatchets in the video.
I hope that's like a game mode. You know what I mean? Like, I
hope the loadouts should just be fucking randomly generated.
Yeah. Well, I'd love it. I'd love a bunch of different ways. I would love to play with randomly generated loadouts, but what I would also love to play is like randomly generated loadouts, but everybody on both teams has that loadout.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The randomly generated per round. Actually, wait. I want to look at the one part in that where you see the 5 dudes. No, they're all using different guns.
Yeah,
one guy has an AK-74, one guy's an MP9, one guy has what looks like an RPK.
Yeah,
and they have different rigs.
Yeah, the announcer to the arena.
Maybe there's classes.
Yep, the announcer to the arena says, "Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the arena, where everybody can make a living or die." So there will be some sort of like currency associated where the better you do, the better you perform. like, yeah, maybe it'll be more worth it to win a round than to loot an extra gun off somebody. You know what I mean? So that's going to be your focus. There's like obviously like scavs spectating and stuff like that, which is really cool. So
I was trying to figure out if you could shoot them, if there's any like player models.
that would be insane. So we'll see. So yeah, so like if you go to 47 seconds in the trailer.
I'm literally paused at 47 seconds.
Look at that. So you see the PMCs running in. Like obviously right there's a big giant hole in the wall. Like that's a hole. And then on the other end, you've got the Norvair, and it looks like that's where the map ends, right? Because you have spectators above that Norvair thing. Right?
It looks like, is there not a hallway to the left? No.
Okay, and then if you go to...
I mean, it could be that like the third floor.
Well, then go to 2 seconds into the trailer. You see the Equator elevator, and you see a little fountain to the left with a floaty and a mannequin in it. There's no like airport signage or verbiage anywhere. Like this looks like the courtyard to a shopping mall to me. So once again,
I'm trying to find.
Could be one map, could be two maps, but it really looks like two maps.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I know people have said. People have said. So there's a couple different things. One, the conversation that I've heard, people have said that the map was also they're like, oh yeah, because people were complaining about how like little there was, how short it was, and someone was like, don't forget, it wasn't just an arena teaser, it was also a terminal teaser. And then someone responded that saying like, that's with the assumption that when you actually properly translate whatever the word in Russian is, it's not terminal like we would expect from like an airport terminal like Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
It means like port.
A port. Yeah. No, as I understand it, that is exactly what terminal
and then
is.
When
like,
you look at the map,
terminal.
When you look at the map of Tarkov, I don't see anything that could conceivably be a runway.
Yeah.
I can't find a runway anywhere, and terminal looks like a port. Now, so yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so here's that. I am like as positive as I can be, which is never 100%, but I'm as positive as I can be. As I understand it, terminal is a map. Terminal is a very integral map to Tarkov. It is where you end. It is how you escape Tarkov. It is a port. It is connected to shoreline. Like literally, it is. You can walk up to the entrance to terminal on shoreline. It is a shipping yard. It is a port. So that map is not this. Also, in the earliest mentions of the arena that I could find from the lore team, the arena was a gladiator arena set up by survivors of this thing in a shopping mall, specifically mentioned as in a shopping mall, which is why I think the other set of map thing is a mall.
And we don't even know, like, I mean, I guess it's possible that these locations aren't quote unquote on the map.
Yes. And then the third thing is, do you remember, now this is the loosest thing, I don't hold this very clearly, but do you remember for like a day, the arena was a selectable map? Like Markstrom has a video where like he selected the arena and went in, and he went into like a dev mode where like all the textures were laid out on the ground and everything. It was crazy. It's still up on his YouTube channel. If you type Markstrom Arena, you'll find it.
You what, mate?
Yeah. And the arena was in the top left of the map, not near terminal.
What the fuck? Dude,
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Did it look at all like... Oh.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
It looks like... Yeah.
And if you go to 30 seconds into that video, the arena is between labs and woods on the left-hand side of the map. So I do not think that what we have there is terminal. I don't think it's related at all to terminal, just because it was an airport terminal. You know what I mean? So
A makeshift arena for gladiator fights, redesign remaining locals out of the Equator 2 shopping mall.
Oh, that says that, right? Boom, I'm right. The Equator 2 is a shopping mall. And then the other part is very obviously an airport. So it's got to be 2 maps.
Yeah, and I still don't know where an airport
Bada boom.
And we don't even necessarily know if the arena, quote unquote, is there.
Correct.
Or if, as a developer, I used to put buttons all over the place. And I would just, you know, like...
That's why I said that's the loosest one. I don't think it's necessarily there on the map.
They could have put it in the fucking ocean. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it doesn't
100%.
matter. They just need a button somewhere to get to this dev mode.
And I think the lore around this is going to be thin because they want to have multiple maps, right? So it's like, it's just going to be the arena. It might be a terminal. It might be woods. It might be this. It might be like, but it's all going to be the arena. You know what I mean? Like, I think the lore around like where we are on the map is going to be thin because they want multiple maps with multiple environments, right? So...
dude, it's been an hour and my pizza hasn't fucking come, dude. I'm like,
pizza delivery these days is not what it used to be.
I'm so distracted by the fucking Domino's like tracker.
Oh yeah,
bar.
Yep.
Anne Marie's been checking my order for an hour and 10 minutes.
Hell yeah.
She's making sure the pepperoni's
Anne Marie's the goat, dude. That
the right
pizza
place.
better be like a Picasso painting.
It better not be a shepherd's pie, dude. It better not be.
I'll be pissed.
Debated.
So what were we talking about? Okay, so yeah, so maps, we don't know where it is. I don't think it's terminal. I think it's 2 maps. We don't know how the gear is going to work. Oh yeah, the description of the video, you know, provides some interesting stuff. You're going to be able to potentially play. You're going to be able to make money somehow. You're going to be able to play as your main character. We don't know what that means. And then, you know, so here we can get into a little bit of the controversy of the community feedback. The last section, which is stuff we already knew, by the way, which is funny because like we knew this for a while. But for Edge of Darkness, for people who have EOD, Arena will be free DLC. For all other versions of EFT, the Arena will be paid. And also you can purchase Arena separately without buying Escape from Tarkov. EFT Arena should be scheduled to start in EFT closed testing should be scheduled to start in the fall of this year. So I don't know if that's going to be like an ETS thing. I don't know who.
When Streets comes out?
Yeah. I don't know who's going to. Yeah, for sure. I don't know who's going to have access to it. I don't know when they plan on releasing it. Did the pizza update?
Yeah.
On the way?
It says complete.
Nice.
I'll get it in a hot second. But yeah, I mean.
So we've known that though. They have said before that this is going to be a separate game that you're going to have to pay for. And they have said before that Edge of Darkness owners will have the game for free. So.
Dude, it just popped into my head. I wonder if they're going to have some sort of I don't know, like different kind of reporting system or like BattleEye.
I have no idea.
XP, BattleEye, Windows 20.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine how shitty that would be if every map you get into, you just fucking die? And I mean, 100%. They don't have the same kind of RMT issues, but
exactly. But that definitely doesn't mean that there won't be cheaters. There will definitely be cheaters. There won't be RMT, but there will be cheaters for sure. And I don't know how they're going to do that. But yeah, so there was definitely some there's definitely been a lot of pushback. A lot of people are excited. A lot of people are like, I've seen a lot. Dude, it's funny. I feel like the people that run the BSG Twitter don't sometimes miss out on like sarcasm. Because I saw somebody tweeted like super excited that they're working on DLC before they finish the main game. And it was like very obviously sarcastic. And like Battlesnake Games liked the tweet. And I was like, what?
I mean, they either could have liked it out of spite or I hate to say it, but I don't think I've ever heard Nikita or any of the devs or anybody. I don't think I've ever heard sarcasm out of a Russian.
Yeah.
Now, caveat that with I've heard 4 Russians talk in my life. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so there's a lot of that sentiment though, like super glad that they're working on another game before their game is out, and a sentiment of like, is this, some people don't want like a Fortnite situation. Like Fortnite, as we know it, was the last minute thrown together game mode to an RPG called Fortnite Save the World.
Oh yeah, and nobody played fucking.
And they
the main
stopped
mode.
supporting it.
Yeah.
Like it's done. Like it's not a thing anymore. You know what I mean? So, so there's definitely that sentiment that we don't want. That people are saying what I don't want to happen is that they make this, which is much more casual friendly. It blows up. They pull all the development team off Tarkov, and then Tarkov inevitably dies or becomes a shell of what it could have been because of this.
If they were at all smart and or competent, they would have made a bunch of, like, they should share 95% of their fucking code base.
Yeah. Yes. For sure.
Like movement, ballistics, whatever, netcode, anti-cheat, or like whatever. You know, maybe have different server configurations or something. But like, if they make a bug fix to some janky animations, they should push it to both fucking branches.
Yes. Yeah, so that is a big part of it for me. It's like, obviously nobody can freaking tell the future and nobody knows what's going to happen. There's like, of course, there's a universe where that exact thing happens and the arena is like insanely popular and it basically kills Tarkov. The thing though is that like what a lot of people, like Clean tweeted this, I've been saying this over and over again for the past day. It's like, this has always been the plan. Like, there are forum posts dating back to like 2017, right after this game came out of alpha, talking about the arena being set in a shopping mall and it being a gladiator arena. Nikita has talked about the arena on podcasts for years. It was always this like one day thing, you know what I mean? But it's like, this is not something they thought of 6 months ago.
It wasn't just to appeal to streamers.
To cash in on the craze. Like, this has always been the plan. I don't know what's going to happen as a result. You know what I mean? For sure. Like, maybe whatever. I have it on good authority. I've talked to like Nice Guy and a few other people. Apparently, like a while back, they hired a bunch of new people to work on this specifically. Like, I do think it's going to share, but like some of the other concerns were that like it's pulling dev work off of Tarkov. Like, I think that they hired a team of people specifically to work on Arena. I don't know that. I've been told that by people that know a lot of things. I really don't.
It's amazing that there's 10 million fucking professional project managers.
100%
in the Tarkov
100%.
community. It's amazing that they know about who to assign to what, how to triage bugs, how to prioritize features.
What's also frustrating is that like immediately a bunch of YouTubers that don't play Tarkov made videos about why this is a bad idea.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have project management software.
Exactly.
Engineer.
It's hard. And it's hard because like I'm not here to say that won't happen. You know what I mean? It's just like if you come to me and you say I'm going to get struck by lightning today, I can't confidently tell you won't, like with 100% certainty, but it just because you believe it to be true doesn't mean it's true. If your whole ammunition is you believe it to be true, you know, if your whole source is trust me, bro, you know what I mean? So it's like if you don't play Tarkov and you just come in and you be like, the arena's super scammy because they're just hopping on trends and building a game and it's going to kill Tarkov. It's like there's you know, in the multiverse, yeah, maybe that happens, but like your source is I can get clicks by whining about this thing because I saw some other people whine about it on Twitter and it kind of seems fair. And it's like, yeah, maybe that happens, but maybe it doesn't. And
it's identical to the old.
This has been their plan all along. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's identical to the old. They love cheaters because they just keep buying more copies of the game. It's like, just because you can conceivably come up with a universe in which it's logically coherent.
Yes.
It doesn't mean, you know, like maybe Nikita hates the world and he wants global warming. He wants to do his part to accelerate global warming. So what he's going to do is spin up as many servers as possible, get as many people to download the game, all these anti-cheats, and it's going to be that much more carbon emissions.
Yep.
There's a universe in which that's true. That this entire Escape from Tarkov is just to
destroy
the carbon emissions.
But that does not make it the most likely scenario.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
what you were gonna have to do is take the next 14 seconds and talk, and I'm getting my pizza.
Oh well, I'll do anything for pizza. All right, what are we gonna talk about? Listen, it's pizza, so we have to support his endeavor for pizza. I hope it's shepherd's pie. That's what he gets. Chat, start counting. We'll see how long it takes. Oh yeah, I have to eat a pineapple pizza now because of a tweet. Yo, do you remember when has anybody in chat remember when Anton's chat would just count for like 6 hours? Does anybody remember that? They would just count forever. I remember those times. Those were good times. How high can we get? Dude, Overskill's gonna be so mad. Shepherd's pie pizza could be pretty baller. There's a very perfect.
Were people timing it?
We were counting.
Did you ever, when you were a kid, did you ever do the whole, like, you know, your dad asked you to go take the laundry or out and you were like, okay, time me.
Oh,
did you ever do that?
Yeah.
I used to do that all the time. I'm going to get the mail. I'm like, okay, time me.
Yep.
I also fed my cat, okay?
Because everything is better when it's a race.
Yeah, just like Tarkov.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of breath, dude. My legs hurt.
The cycling and then the pizza getting.
You know what the worst part about the cycling was? My fucking triceps, actually.
Interesting.
Because, like, I have a racing bike, like a racing bicycle that's, like, aggressive.
Really?
The seat is, like, a foot higher than the bars.
Jeez.
So you're just on your fucking hands the whole time.
Interesting.
And I'm just a scrawny boy, and yeah.
I'm just a scrawny boy.
Dude, what the fuck? Anne-Marie looked at my pizza for like an hour, and it looks like they just microwaved it, dude.
Yes, it does.
Whatever, I'm starving. I'm acting like I fucking care.
Yeah. But anyways, what we're saying, it's like, it's understandable. There's some genuine concerns. There's some genuine concerns that are blown like way out of proportion. There are some ridiculous concerns, and then there's some like completely ridiculous concerns. And it's frustrating, and I hope we get some more information on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like Nikita talked about maybe doing a podcast, but then we never got the podcast. The Summer Games Fest is coming up. I hope they give us some more information on it. Like on both sides, like on the development side, you know, because I equally see a universe where this helps Escape from Tarkov. You know what I mean? Like I equally see a universe where like them
brings more people into the game.
Well, but even the development, right? Like they're able to they're basically doing the back end and the network infrastructure from the ground up. At least that's what they've said, because they want like 120 tick rate servers and that kind of stuff. Like it wouldn't surprise me if like this movement patch came out of something that they figured out while working on Arena. You know what I mean? So,
and think about the fact that nobody saw it. A lot of the netcode issues, it's what I've said for 3 years now, is because you only see players once every 17 minutes for 1 second.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be seeing people so much more often.
Yep.
You're increasing the like denominator in the calculation of finding issues over, you know, number of engagements.
So it's it's like whenever people are like, it could kill Tarkov, it's like, yeah, but it could make Tarkov. And if that's the game we're going to play, where it's just like, I'm going to pluck a random potential ending to the story out of thin air and be like, well, and shove it in your face, then I can just shove that back in yours and be like, but there's also a universe where like Escape from Tarkov is exponentially better because they have another team working on it in a different way, and they can share what they learn, and both games are better because of it. Like not from a player perspective, not from a player count perspective, but like from a development perspective, there is a real universe where that happens. Additionally, exactly like you said, I think this will be an entry point for a lot of people into Tarkov. If they buy the Arena, $20, $30, I don't know how much it's going to be, and they love it and they want more of this universe, and then buying into Escape from Tarkov, which helps the longevity of the game and potentially means the game is supported for even longer. Like, there's a lot of reasons. And then on a whole nother end, there's like, this is going to be great if you have both games. Like, the arena is going to be a great place to practice PvP. You know what I mean? And practice movement and practice getting used to the guns and practice getting used to some like close quarters tactics.
You just use the hideout. You just need to bob and weave on the fucking...
Yeah, on the freaking 3 static. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like, so this is gonna, like, people have been saying that, like, Tarkov players are about to get really good. Like, people are going to be grinding out Arena and then coming back into Tarkov and they're going to be gods. And it's going to be very different games, 100%. Like, I also think that this makes sense from the sense of just, like, people are going to be able to get what they want out of it. The people that want the more survival are going to play more of that. And the people that want the fast pace are going to play more of that. And like the big thing that people keep saying is like, it's going to split the player base. Like the big thing I keep getting is like, all my dead raids are going to be twice as dead now. That's super fun, which is ridiculous because A, I get into very few what I would call dead raids. B, probably at least 50% of your dead raids are raids where you didn't see anybody, which is a very different thing. There were people in your server and they either died to scavs, it was a 5-man that was doing something and they left, it was new players avoiding PvP. And third, you're judging dead raids based on 6 months into a wipe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and also a lot of people, because their favorite streamer does it, they go ahead and choose one server.
Exactly,
that's like
dude.
So that already like, oh, I've been in the queue for 25 minutes, and I'm like, you know, streamer privilege, and I'm like, how many servers do you have selected? Oh, the one closest to me. That, like, okay, I have auto server on. You know, it's so that is going to find the fucking first available, presumably find the first available server and put me in there.
Yep.
Yeah. So then there's that, and then there's the second thing, which I forgot what I was going to say, so I'm not going to say it. Yeah, must have been a lie. That's what my grandmother says.
I'm not saying that everybody's experience is exactly like mine, but I have like 10 or 15 servers selected, and I very rarely come across dead raids.
And for all we know, it'll double the number of players in the game.
Exactly.
Which you might even get more people in raid, right? Because if it doubles the total people, then at some point those people might come over from Arena and start playing. So maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
People that like, how many times have you heard people come into your chat and say, I stopped playing Tarkov when I got to level 30 because I was just getting stomped by the Chads nonstop.
And now they're going to be in Arena. How many people that
stop playing might come back if the Chads are maybe moving over to the Arena? How many people that buy the Arena might have that as an entry point and then become interested in Tarkov? How many people that just haven't played Tarkov in a while are going to come back to the game? It's like, once again, it's so binary to these people. It's just like, there's 37,000 people playing Escape from Tarkov right now. Exactly half of them are going to want to play Arena 24/7, and the other half is only going to want to play Tarkov. So there's going to be half as many players. My raids are going to be twice as dead. That sucks. It's as binary as that, and that's so stupid because you have no idea what they're doing on the back end of server infrastructure that might migrate over to Tarkov to help it actually optimize and make people like scale up or down servers to make sure that people in raid. You don't know if Tarkov is going to get more popular as a result of this. Like,
there's so many variables. There's so many moving parts.
And it's like Tarkov's not done. It's like when they launched Arena, now Tarkov's not done. Like, Streets is coming out, Terminal's coming out, the story is still coming out, all the other updates that we know about, have known about forever, customizable rigs, plate carriers, the DLCs that they have. It's like, it's so stupid.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts. Like, and I mean, this is, you know, kind of a point on the other side, but again, this all just speculation.
Yeah.
Your raids might not be dead. You might have to wait 1 minute more in the queue while they wait for a couple more people. Even if the population was lower.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't choose one of the least populated servers and nothing else, then you might not notice a difference in the number of people in your raid. But overall, I think it'll almost... It's hard to say, and I think it'll probably come in waves. Like maybe the meta will be, you go and you play Arena to warm up for an hour or two.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you go and play the regular Tarkov for a while, right? Like maybe the arena will, especially if there's only 2 maps, or maybe that'll get boring, you know, if you're playing for 5 or 6 hours or on a weekend or whatever. But yeah, it's interesting because you could conceivably see the skill level of the average player base double or go down by 25% because all of the chads are in arena.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know,
dude. And then additionally, it makes sense, like from a business perspective too. Like, I think it has potential to be like ginormous. Like, how many of the top streamers in the world have played this game? XQC's played Tarkov. Tim the Tatman's played Tarkov. Summit, Shroud, the Doc. I don't know if Nick Merckx has ever played it, but like big boys. Veritas. Big boys have played it. And they all either want an arena mode or they get bought it. Like Shroud and Lupo love the game. Like every time there's a wipe, Shroud comes back, he grinds up towards Kappa, and then, you know, he's a variety guy, so he plays something else.
Yep.
But like Tim the Tatman will 100% play this. And if it's good, and if there's a rank system, and if there's something worth grinding for, like the sentiment around Call of Duty is what? It's garbage. They're just recycling the same game every year. There's nothing innovative. And then the sentiment, the general sentiment around Escape from Tarkov is it's the most fresh experience around an FPS in multiple decades. It's just a buggy mess. And it's like, if they do this well, and if they get the server infrastructure down, and if they have a ranking system and something worth grinding for, like, this could be humongous. Like, this could be insane, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's wanted a new, fresh experience in the arena shooter genre forever. This is something that they've been planning to do since basically the inception of Escape from Tarkov. It's like, even if I will like Escape from Tarkov better, which I imagine I always will, I hope it succeeds. It seems like it could be dope. You know what I mean?
I mean, I totally agree with you, but something did just come to mind.
What?
The trend might continue that, like, post Twitch drops, the average fucking age, the inverse correlation between the average age and the average toxicity.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of toxic kids who would spam homophobic and racist shit in your Xbox 360 whispers.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think all those people end up on Arena, not Tarkov.
No, they end up in my Twitch chat.
Oh. Yeah, whatever. They give me a higher ad revenue rate from Twitch, so.
True. True. Just put it in sub-only mode.
Yeah, dude. You can pay my bills if you want. I don't know. You ever wish you could emote only a person? Like, instead of a timeout, you could emote only them? That would be sick.
Because, you know, as soon as they get time, like, they're going to get untimed out and they're going to be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the prisoner, after you take them out of solitary for 6 hours, they instantly punch you and they're like, well, I guess you're going back in.
Exactly. That would be so sick. Like, please make that a moderation tool. Anyways.
I want to do a fucking bits redemption. Dude, I see it as like a joke, but
yeah,
I want to do one of those bits redemptions for timeout.
Oh,
because I feel like I can do the thing that my therapist wants me to do, which is just ignore them and let them be. But then Twitch chats, well, it wasn't me. I didn't time
you out. So yeah, so like I want to be clear that, like, I genuinely do understand some of the concerns, and people that don't have a podcast, people that don't play this game 40 hours a week, people that don't talk about this game as much as we do, people that don't, we talk about this all the time with the Christmas event. Like, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that don't follow them on Twitter, that don't check the Reddit, that work, they come home and they play the game. And a lot of those people maybe came home, saw some buzz about Tarkov, saw the trailer, and were very understandably like, but this game's not done yet. You know what I mean? So I want to be clear that, like, I understand it. And I understand some of that concern, but there's a difference between concern and being like, what the heck, this seems kind of weird, and people coming in and just trying to bring everybody else down and be toxic for the sake of toxicity. So it's like, I'm not saying that if you were worried about this, you're stupid. I'm saying, I hope if you were worried about it and you heard us talk about it, you can see that like nobody knows the future, but there's a lot more to think about. And this could very well benefit the Escape from Tarkov universe. Like, it's funny because like a year ago on the podcast, we had a whole episode where we were like talking about how like Tarkov could make the best arena shooter. Tarkov could make the best survival game. Tarkov could make the best DayZ. Tarkov could make the best BR. Like, they have the assets and the gunplay and the atmosphere and the world building to like make all these games and make them better. And like, then it's happening. And then you have people who are like, no, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. I think it could be a good thing for sure. I'm forever a glass half full kind of guy. I'm going to be copium until I die, whatever. If that triggers you, sorry. But it's just not as binary as like your raids will be twice as dead and they're never going to finish Tarkov because of the arena. Like, it's not that binary. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I remember I said last week how like if they wiped tomorrow that I don't think I would play. Yeah. And I still believe that. If they came out with a Lighthouse expansion, I don't give a fuck. I definitely wouldn't. Streets, I don't really think. I'm like 10% chance I come back to check out Streets. I'll probably just like watch your stream.
Yeah.
There's like a 75% chance I would boot the game up to play a couple rounds of Arena to see what it was like.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's good, then I'd. So I mean, that's at least one person that one person that would potentially come back to the game.
Yeah.
You follow that through, there's 7 billion people on planet Earth that are going to try it.
Yep.
Just follow that logic.
100%. Everybody, yeah, 100%. So I don't know. We'll see. So the next thing we have is like Summer Games Fest is the next thing we're going to get, which is this coming Friday, a week from yesterday. It makes complete sense to me that they want to talk about the arena, because like when they do a Tarkov TV live podcast, they're talking to people who are obsessed with Escape from Tarkov. When you show up at the Summer Games Fest, you're talking to gamers across the world that may have never even heard of your game, and the arena is like the perfect thing to talk about, right? You know what I mean? Like if you're doing PR. So I would imagine that that's what we're getting at the Summer Games Fest, because they said they were going to be there. So I imagine last year we got a Streets trailer and like a 15-minute interview with Nikita. Like the people from the Summer Games Fest interviewed Nikita. So I don't know. It'd be cool. It'd be cool to get that again if they like either showed another arena trailer or something, and then maybe they got interviewed about it, and we actually get a little bit more information about like how it's going to be. But that they talked about doing a Tarkov TV live, but then we haven't heard anything about that. So who knows? And then yeah, in the realm of like wipe, no wipe, we're officially at that, like we're pretty close to the 6-month mark of this wipe, and they have been very confusing with like, they did the whole 1.5 trillion ruble extortion event that didn't lead to anything. They did a podcast teasing the Lighthouse expansion. They showed us a trailer. It was all about the Lighthouse expansion and all the details about that. That was 2 months ago. We don't have the Lighthouse expansion. So it is a complete crapshoot on what we get and when we get it. We know the Lighthouse expansion is coming. We know they said they want Streets of Tarkov by the fall. I have no idea. I don't know if we're going to wipe soon, a patch soon, nothing soon. I don't know if we're going to get a podcast soon. They are off the rails, and
that's weird, dude, because we've always known
for the ride.
It's weird because I mean, like, we've always known all of those things all the time. Yeah, like we're streamers, right? We don't. Yeah, we always.
I mean, I know when the wipe is. I just can't tell you.
Well, I mean, I know.
Yeah. Well, we can't tell
chat. Yeah.
We can't let them know that we know. So yeah. So it's like legitimately have no idea what the hell is going to happen. But that's okay.
It makes me so glad that I'm like not invested at all emotionally.
Yeah. You know, just enjoy some Trackmaniacs. Dude, that's a great name for a podcast, by the way.
Trackmaniacs.
Yeah,
there's no way that someone hasn't done that fucking 93 IQ like pun. It is the Trackmaniacs. Remember the Animaniacs?
Oh yeah.
Trackmaniac. Fuel game wiki. The fuck is that? Trackmaniacs hashtag on Instagram? Dude, I don't think it's a thing.
Dude, you should get that.
Dude, I'm fucking like literally I've never been so mad before. Like it's like
oh yeah. They totally that hour Anne Marie was checking on it, it was sitting on the counter waiting for the delivery guy to come back.
No, but it's not even that, dude. Like this was made yesterday. Like there's no way that this was made today.
Okay. I have a thing set up called Treat Stream where like chat can buy me a pizza and it like pings to Papa John's and it delivers to me.
Wow, what the fuck, dude?
It's so sick. So basically like Treat Stream in the middle holds your address and like your delivery address and all of your orders. So from the Twitch chatter side, they can only see what you put on the menu. And I always tell people don't do it. It's a bad deal, but people wanted me to set it up, so I do it. But what the chatter pays is they pay for the price of the food, the price of the delivery, and a tip. And then, of course, Treat Stream gets a cut. So I'm always like, don't do it. It's a bad deal. But Chad bullied me into setting it up, and I set it up. And so they just pay a price, and then Treat Stream in the middle contacts Papa John's with the order and gives them the delivery address, so the Twitch chatter never sees that. And then an hour later, I just get a pizza, and the tip and everything is already taken care of. Anyways, they've been doing this. We've been doing this for a while, and because I stream at night, I put them in the notes. I'm like, please call or text me when you're here. Don't knock or ring the doorbell because like my kids are probably sleeping or whatever. And it's over the past 2 years, I probably had like 30 or 40 pizzas delivered to me. They do it every time. Like a week ago, dude. Oh, also sometimes if the chatter places the order around the time that the restaurant closes, the restaurant might just cancel the order and like refund the money.
Yeah.
And somebody sent me a pizza and it was late, and 2 hours went by and I never got the pizza. So I told him, I was like, hey, check your email. They probably just refunded your order. I end the stream. I go out. I'm sitting. I'm like winding down.
On your fucking front
and I was
porch,
like, let me double check. And I opened it up and there was a pizza on my front porch. They didn't call. They didn't text. They didn't knock. My wife was awake. They just set it on my front porch and left.
Huh.
And I picked up this entire fresh pizza that had ants all over it and I threw it in the garbage. Because they'd been out there for 3 hours at that point. And there were ants all over it. I was so pissed.
What the fuck,
I was
dude?
so pissed. Oh, and then one time she called me and she was like, I'm here. And I was like, okay, yeah, sweet. So I like went out and I opened the door and I didn't see her. And I, turned the corner and I looked down and she waves me over and she's like, it's unlocked. And I opened her car door and grabbed my pizza out of the back of her car.
Is that her idea of contactless delivery?
I have no idea. But I was like, this feels weird. But I guess this is what we're doing.
You open it up and it was just a brick of heroin.
Dude.
And then all of a sudden it's like, FBI! You're like, wait, what the fuck?
It wasn't mine. Dude, it was super
sure
weird.
it wasn't. Sure it wasn't.
It was super weird.
Fucking hell, dude.
I'm telling you, dude, pizza delivery nationwide is falling short.
Dude, I'm in a live chat right now with a customer support bot that as soon as I get off the fucking podcast, I'm going to be like, hello, my name is Karen, and I need to speak with your manager because the meal, I can't, like, there's no way that I got a very specific, a medium pizza with pepperoni, sausage, and bacon. There's no way that they had that from yesterday sitting on their but I'm telling you, this is exactly what happens when if I order a pizza, I don't put it in the refrigerator. I just leave it on the fucking table. And then I come the next day and I'm like, oh God, this is bad. That's what it's like. Actually, it's worse than that. It's like when I have a pizza that I just put out in my garage, and it's like gets stale and it's not warm. It's hard. There's literally no cinnamon on the fucking Cinnasticks. I'm fucking livid.
And you waited like an hour and a half for it.
Yeah, and like part of me would have assumed that, like, oh, maybe it got delivered an hour and the website didn't update. It wouldn't be this bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter.
Yep. Do you remember?
Do
you remember back in the day when Domino's did 30-minute delivery or less, or it's free?
Nope.
And people were dying in car accidents. Like delivery drivers were like trying, because the stores were like, you can't.
They were dropping like flies.
Yeah, dude. And it was like it lasted like a month. They pulled that junk back so fast because the managers were like, we're not giving this away for free, but it was like a national policy, and it was bad. It was very bad.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my god, I almost closed out of my Domino's tab. I don't know that we talked about this or not, but Severance. Did we talk about?
Oh yeah.
After I watched it, did we follow up on that?
I think we did, because I think we talked about how the finale was like just woof.
Oh, how I was pissed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we did. Yeah. All right.
It's so good, dude.
I got Shelly, one of my mods. I don't know what season she's on, but she's. I've been getting real-time updates. Watching Dark.
Oh.
You should see all of her messages. She's like, fucking 33-year cycle. This time machine is 10 times more. Like, you should see this wall of text I got. Oh, God.
So good.
She's trying to sort this shit out. If you haven't watched Dark or Severance, watch them both.
Yep.
Watch them both.
Are you into Stranger Things at all? The new season of that just came out.
I watched Stranger Things. I don't remember when. I think maybe like when season 2 came out. I watched season 1, maybe watched a couple of episodes of season 2, and then kind of like fell off.
Yeah.
I don't know why, if I got bored with it.
I like the show a lot. Like, it's not in my top 5 of all time, but I think it's like a great show and worthy of a watch.
All right, maybe I'll have to go back. And like I said, I don't know. Like maybe Game of Thrones last season was happening at the same time or something, then I just got distracted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the new season of Stranger Things just came out. I've been watching that. And then I've been rewatching Silicon Valley. Did you ever watch that?
You know that I played Tarkov with the main character.
Oh, yes, right? I do know that, with Richard freaking Hendricks, bro.
Yeah, Richard Hendricks.
How did that happen? I remember that, dude.
I saw someone came into chat and was like, yo, the dude from Silicon Valley is streaming like Tarkov on Twitch. I was like, what the fuck? And then I rated him. He only had like 300 viewers or something, because I think he was like new, just messing around with streaming. So I rated him, and he was like super cool. And somehow I ended up talking about my music, and he said my music was great. And then he's like, yo, we got to get games together. So I got his Discord, and then we played, and it was a shit show because he was like a level 2 Timmy. Dude,
Richard Hendricks.
Yeah, man.
I love that show. It's so good.
I never turned that into like a video, and I think I might have deleted the footage. I'm sure by now. But yeah, his name is Thomas Middleditch. Is his real name. But yeah, really nice guy. He had a fucking raunchy ass sense of humor. It was funny as hell, dude. It was like a stand-up comedy show.
That's great.
Yeah, we had fun.
That's so great.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that I have that's worth mentioning remaining was I've released the Trackmania video. I don't know. Did you end up seeing it?
I haven't finished it, but
it's
so good.
Dude.
It's so good. It's like the music, some of the shots, like there's the one shot towards the beginning where it's like a wide shot pushing in of a guy doing the loop. And then as soon as he basically hits ground level, you lock the camera to the car.
And it's just perfectly and with the green and the lighting. Dude, it's one of the greatest looking games I've ever played. So many people come in and they're like, I pictured like this shitty old game. I'm telling you, especially if you look on Steam, you're not going to find it. It's not on Steam. It's Ubisoft on Uplay. It is one of the best looking games. Especially with the replay system, the game is just way fucking cooler than anybody thinks. I think they all picture the Web Trials HD fucking like dirt bike game or something.
Yep.
No, it's the coolest game that like nobody in North America has ever heard of. And yeah, the video was like a love letter to
it's so dude. The editing and like the fact that you're like interviewing people. When you're interviewing the people, are you showing like their run over top?
Most of the time, yeah. Most
that's
of the time.
what
I didn't want to. There's so many really good like drivers that I wanted to shout out. That most of the time it was either their like first, second, or third place, like replays over their voice, under their voiceover, or if they were talking about a particular track or a particular kind of competition style, it would be irrelevant. But yeah, you can literally go in and you can see like there's a leaderboard in the game. You can click a little eyeball and it'll have their like the world record run will be like a ghost you can drive along with. But there's also plugins, like community made mods basically, where you can just a couple of clicks download those replays. So then I can take those replays, put them in the replay system all alongside the second place, the third place, my best run, and you can see them drive side by side. You can change, I don't know if we talked about this before, probably, but you can change the time of day.
Yeah.
You can change the speed of the clouds, the color of the sky, the depth of field on the camera. You can make the camera shake. Like there were a few shots that were really subtle, but a few shots where like it was almost as if the camera was down on the ground.
Yep.
And the car would go over and I would make the camera shake a little bit. Dude, yeah, you can do some really fucking amazing shit.
So sick.
But yeah, honestly, and maybe it's like the recency bias, but I think it might be one of the best videos I've ever made, if not the best video.
It's really good. It's a really good video. It's just like, it's a perfect video essay. Like, you know, we both got like super into video essays back in the day. We were watching all of those guys. Jacob, what was his name? Gillier?
Jacob Geller.
It's like a bunch of his videos and a bunch of stuff. And it's exactly
every frame of painting.
Yes. You sit down and you're hooked. It's what I want out of a video essay. It's me watching something that I don't spend a lot of time doing, watching somebody explain to me why other people spend thousands and thousands of hours doing that thing. And it just gets me like pumped and excited. And it's really good. I'm thinking I'm about like halfway through it. And it's just like, and then exactly that. It's such a pretty game. And you as the editor have like an actual insane amount of control over the editing, even though these aren't your races, just makes it like insane.
Yeah, it's so much better to be able to like, rather than every Tarkov video that's just people walking through customs, shooting a scab every now and then it's just like voiceover on top of that. It's actually interesting, and made a bunch of songs that around the same time that I end up tossing in there that I really liked. Like drum and bass is like a really, because it's a racing game, right? It's kind of like high adrenaline. The community loves drum and bass, so I basically made like an album that's all drum and bass that I recently came out with. And like the car in my album cover is literally the Trackmania car. But I put it in one of those like kind of synth wavy fucking.
That's so sick.
But yeah, and a lot of people have been looking for it on my main channel. It's not on my main channel. I had created this second channel.
Yep.
That's Satire V. It's Veritas backwards. Dude, someone came in to chat the other day and was like, so I know that you got Veritas from Satire V being flipped around, but like, what is what did he say? Oh, but he was like, but where did the V come from in Satire V? I was like, oh fuck. Oh no, bud.
Oh my god, what?
You got the egg before the chicken, my man.
That's so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so, and I think I just hit like 1,000 subs on the channel, and the video still, hasn't gotten the traction I wanted, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe 6 months from now somebody will pick it up, and I mean, the comments are literally, there's not a single comment that isn't like, this is the greatest thing I've fucking ever seen. Not a single negative comment. The only remotely not overly positive comment was someone was like, you mentioned this track that from someone that you interviewed, but you didn't mention that it was a remake of a track from an older game. You probably should have shouted that person. I was like, I didn't even I'm so new, I don't even know what I don't know. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm already working on episode 2, where it's going to be all about ice driving. You saw me on that fucking track earlier.
Yeah.
The pain and suffering. But I already have a bunch of amazing clips. So actually, I wanted to mention real quick, we were talking about like Jacob Geller and every frame painting. One of the things I really paid attention to when I made this, because I want to try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Experiment with some of the different elements of like cinematography and whatever. And there is one of Every Frame of Painting's videos is called F for Fake. And it's about a documentary that a guy made called F for Fake, where it's all about how to construct a video essay. And I think that's the video.
Interesting.
And one of the things that he talks about is he actually talks about South Park and how like the Matt Stone and Trey Parker kind of figured out you can't just say this happened and then this happened and then this happened and then this and then this. It's boring. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But what really works is the quote they say is, "Meanwhile, back at the ranch." So it's basically like whenever you're connecting different pieces of a story, it should be therefore or but. This happened, therefore this happened. But then this happened. Therefore this happened. And that's way better than and then.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I have the whole meta narrative around, I'm interviewing all these pros, talking about the history and all of the elements that make this interesting and the mechanics of the game. And then in the middle of the different sections, like I start off with the intro and then I basically say, in order to understand this, we need to start with my beginning.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I talk about my beginning and then that segues nicely into a bunch of interview things. And then it's like, here I am a week later, struggling with another thing.
Yep.
Meanwhile, here are people talking about, it was, you'll see it split up. It's basically like A, B, A, B, A, B, where it's like cinematic or informational pieces, my story, cinematic or informational, and then back to my story. So it's kind of,
that's cool.
I think it went well.
For sure. For sure.
But,
that's really cool.
When you finish it, you'll have to let me know what you think about like that whole
100%.
The structure of it, because it's not super overt or obvious.
Yeah.
But it's different, than like History of Tarkov.
Exactly.
Is like
it's completely different. Or even getting Tarkov or anything around, like it's telling a story is so different. I did the same thing. So I recently made a video I told you we did some raids where we were like inviting randoms and giving them gear and stuff like that. And I tried to turn that. It's my favorite video I've ever made, and it was like how we changed the rules of Tarkov in 1, I think is the name of the video. And it's the video I've spent the most time editing. And I tried to and it was the same. It was a similar thing in the editing while I was editing. It was like, this is a completely different thing. I almost edited the whole video a few times because I'm normally doing, lessons from beyond the grave or like a beginner's guide or a highlight video. And I wanted this to be a story. I wanted there to be stakes. I wanted there to be like a personal connection. Invested. Exactly. So it was a completely different editing style for me. And when I was done with it, I loved it. It was my favorite video ever. And it's performing stellarly mediocre, just completely middle of the pack. Doesn't
it feel good to make the best shit ever? You drop a Bitcoin for somebody, you put no effort into it, and a bajillion views on whatever.
Yeah. And same thing. The comments are this is the best Escape from Tarkov content I've ever seen. This is the most original thing ever. Please do more of this. The comments are so good, but I'm balls deep right now into the science of YouTube and thumbnails and titling and how to structure the first 10 to 15 seconds of your video and how people do it. Because you look at a guy like JLK, remember I told you about him and you got deep into his videos. He does that really good. He does a stellar job of setting a narrative quickly. Yeah. You know what I mean? How we became the richest drug cartel in DayZ. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily about video length. It's about conveying the correct expectation with the title and the thumbnail, and then it's about conveying the right expectation with the title and the thumbnail, and then affirming So when I see the video, I should kind of know what I think this video is going to be. And when I click on it in the first 10 seconds, I should be affirmed that that is exactly what this video is. And he does that really good with narrative driven content. And I do that pretty okay with maybe new player guides, but I want to make cool Tarkov related narrative driven content. And that's a new thing for me, and I'm not good at that yet. So I was like, so it's a lot to process, but like the video is good, and like what I really loved the intro to your video. Like it was very cinematic. It affirmed in me that this is basically going to be a movie about Trackmania. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would say mess with some titles or some thumbnails if the video continues to not, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like the video is so solid. You never know if like a super subtle change like that.
Yeah.
Because didn't what's that guy's name? Oh, Veritasium.
Oh, he did that video about changing
clickbait. He did the video on clickbait, and he said that he like changed the title of some of his videos from like 4 years ago, and they like quadrupled in views.
And so, I mean, even I did that.
Yes. Oh yeah, that one
for the new player guide.
Yep.
You know, see, I actually was like really happy with the thumbnail and the title because it was really in line with one of the biggest Trackmania, the biggest Trackmania content creator is Virtual with the W. Like it's always how I finished the hardest challenge track in Trackmania, or how, you know, this particular track was broken, or how, you know, so I was, I don't know. I'm going to have to think of.
Well, for sure. That's the thing, is that like some of it, it's so hard to know. It's so hard to know. I think that when you get to a certain echelon, because doesn't he have like 2 million subs or something?
Yeah, but he also, the best part is if you go back into his videos, you know, you go back like 6 months and he's got 860K.
Yeah.
You go back 6 months and his videos is like, hey guys, I'm about to hit 15,000 subs. Like he just fucking blew
up recently. Yeah.
And yeah, it largely hit when, actually, I don't know when.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I like it's definitely worth. Holy cow! Yeah, he only has like 40 videos.
Yeah, and like, so if you go back, it started when he made a video called "How I Got the D13 Race World Record."
Yeah.
That was one of the first really big videos. Everything else before that is like just playbacks of his world records, like 2 minutes 47, which isn't. You know, that's just like my stream highlights versus telling these stories. You know, it's almost like if you ever seen Summoning Salt or Carl Drops, where it's like the history of the world record history of Super Mario or whenever. But
yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like if it's a good video, and if it's not popping, I would just, why not? You know what I mean? Toss some other ideas at the wall.
Yeah,
I'm doing the same thing. I've already updated the title and the thumbnail of that video a few times just to see.
And have you seen any changes?
Nothing huge. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
See, I see a big bump in mine from a particular day that there's one of the streamers who's like a bigger streamer in Trackmania, one of the bigger ones, Spammy, and I think he had like 1,000 viewers at the time, and he was like eating food and watched my video, did like a live reaction,
sick.
And it was like my line was in a steady increase, and it's like became an S. It was like, you know, now it's still on the same slope, but it got a jump, you know, from 5K to 10K in one day. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
For sure.
I just want YouTube to put my fucking video in front of, put it in front of the 5 million people that watch Virtual's videos.
Yeah.
I guarantee you at least 100,000 of 5 million, and that's being modest.
Yeah.
Will be like, yo, this is fucking sick.
Dude, freaking, yeah. It's so complicated. It's so complicated. But video's dope. Video's dope for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But
yeah. But I don't have anything else.
neither do I. I gotta go fucking yell at Domino's Pizza.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, dude.
I clicked out of the tab. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna eat my food and get fucked, I guess.
Hit up Kid Boga and you guys can serve some justice to the the Domino's customer service. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging. We'll see what happens in the Tarkov sphere. You probably play some more Trackmania. I'll probably play a little bit more Star Citizen. You know what I mean? I'm still like 85% Tarkov. I still play a whole lot. I'm gonna go play Tarkov tonight.
Dude, I've been thinking for the content real quick. I've been thinking about doing a video where it's like I challenge Tarkov people. I said, the game is free. Download it and play this campaign track. If you can beat my time, the first Tarkov streamer to beat this time on this track, I'll give $500 to. And like have it be like a week. Because I just want to see him fucking
get
struggle.
Addicted. Yeah.
And also get addicted. There's just so many elements to it. Like more people to get introduced to the game. But also like there's no way in a week that and Shield Bandit series motherfuckers like world record holder on a bunch of tracks.
Jeez.
There's no way that anybody after a week beats my fucking the track number 1 in the campaign. There's no way anybody beats that shit. It's 0.12 seconds from the goddamn world record, which is an eternity.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening. But I'll put up a $5,000. I mean, no, sorry, 500. 500.
Clip it.
Oh,
clip it.
No, that's not a binding contract.
I'll put up $5,000. I was about to say, you definitely have some people to take that. Yeah, that would be funny. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging. We'll see what happens in the Tarkov space. We'll keep playing other video games and maybe, I don't know. I've been wanting to make some Star Citizen YouTube content too. So maybe we'll talk more about YouTube content for other games. But thanks for hanging. This will, wait, is today Saturday? It is. Jesus. This will go live on Monday, which is soon. And thank you guys for hanging. We will definitely see you on the next one.
Peace.